What is the worst game release you have ever seen in modern gaming? Most will think about No Man's Sky, a game that rose to impossible levels of hype, only to be a complete dumpster fire at launch day. Or maybe Fallout 76, a game so terrible it straight up broke people's systems to the point of being almost unplayable. Or even Cyberpunk 2077, a game that puts almost both those previous titles to shame with the amount of lying that CDPR did at launch. But what if I told you that there's a company who created a game that makes all of those look absolutely incredible, but not as incredible as you hitting that subscribe button and joining us on the path to 300 YouTube subscribers? Hey, I gotta get this in there somehow. But shameless plug aside, it's time to discuss the colossal failure that is The Day Before. And let me tell you guys, this is one for the history books. Now, for those of you who have zero clue what The Day Before is, and trust me, I don't blame you, it was built by the company Fantastic, makers of such wonderful games like The Wild 8, Dead Dozen, Radiant 1, and Prop Night. Ever heard of those titles? It's alright, neither have I. But Fantastic and its CEO, for what I'm sure is completely unrelated reasons, nuked his entire Twitter account, have been advertising this game since 2021 with a gameplay trailer that showed basic mechanics of the game, but claimed to be it quote-unquote in production since 2019 and was advertised originally as a MMO, a great MMO. In fact, so great that, according to them, and I quote, it's a real breakthrough for the MMO survival genre. Bold words for a game and company I'm pretty sure no one even knew existed. But regardless, Fantastic co-founders Edward and Azian, I probably butchered that, appeared in that trailer boasting about how great this game will be and how different it will be from others in its genre, such as in-game realism and open-ended gameplay, to other fine additions such as, and I quote, reinvented everything from the in-game goals to the way we approach the quality and the game mechanics. Now, if things are starting to pique your interest, congratulations, you're not alone. I mean, believe it or not, it did get pretty high on the Steam wishlist charts, but it wouldn't take long for the smoke and mirrors to start being exposed. Because you see, this game was worse than a colossal failure. It was almost a literal definition of a absolute scam. I mean, folks, I cannot think of a single game that has lived and died in the span of 3 days. This game literally came out, as of the date of recording this, the day before, as funny as this is, right? But you see, the problems started to show themselves long before launch day. See, on June 2022, someone on Twitter noticed that Fantastic had updated their website saying that they had paid and unpaid quote-unquote volunteers, and that anyone that wanted to work on, quote, the most wishlist game on Steam could do so for absolutely free. And while full-time volunteers got paid, at least is what they claim, the unpaid guys were compensated with participation certificates and free codes, which after that happened is kind of ironic, however, because in January 2023, the page for The Day Before on Steam was actually removed, with Fantastic stating that on the 25th there had been some trademark issues surrounding the title of the game, and announced that the release had been further delayed to November 10th. However, the studio's founder would later inform IGN that the delay had already been planned prior to them learning of the trademark issues. So as the bullshit kept flowing, claims of the entire game being a scam started to surface, but their response was that since they were being backed by Minata and having their progress evaluated regularly, that there's absolutely no way they could be scamming anyone. But it was on December 7th that reality would finally set in for absolutely everyone, myself included. And let me tell you, man, I was following this game for a good long while, right? Because for those of you that don't know, I like to play a lot of different games. I especially play a lot of Ark, probably more than I should. But during those off seasons, I kept seeing this advertisement for The Day Before, and the trailers looked really good. I mean, they looked really good. Tons of different driving sessions. The graphics looked really great. There was like a stupid little crafting system, right? It was your basic zombie horror MMO. At least that's what I thought. But the game finally came out and just... take a look. Clearly, as you can see, the quote real breakthrough for the MMO survival genre just turned out to be a really crappy extraction shooter. Quite the switch from what it's been advertised as since its actual conception. And because Steam reviews are really as honest as it gets, The Day Before was flooded with negative reviews because besides the game just looking like this. It was filled with issues. Take, for example, one issue that had players falling through the floor the moment the intro ended and the zombies being more or less pointless, as they were anything but threatening. Add in the fact that almost nobody could join a server, and if you could, chances were high it would crash, and the day before was getting absolutely ran through. So much so the mods of the day before, Discord, actually went ahead and shut down discussions with most of the server channels, stating the following: "We have made the decision to temporarily lock the channel for several reasons. Firstly, it's essential to let things calm down due to the overwhelming toxicity that we currently cannot manage effectively. Secondly, we need to channel all the bug reports to the development team, and we can't accomplish this if we aren't allowed to share those reports. Continuous moderation here is diverting our time away from addressing major bugs and making crucial fixes. A patch is in the works, so please be prepared for an upcoming game update." Now, at this point, I'm sure you can imagine how things went from here, because this game literally did live and die in the span of 3 days. And you know, this video, it's not going to be a very long one, but it's a video that I'm going to make a very specific point on. I'm getting very tired of games coming out half-baked or not polished, or just straight up scams happening. You know, the fact that this game even made it to Steam in the first place is aggravating to me. The fact that a company came out, sold all these copies, $40 pre-release, mind you, just for it to die. The entire company shut down in 3 days, bro. That is insanity to me, and it should not be accepted. You know, I think that there's a lot of games that have failed on launch date. Again, some of the games that I mentioned when this video first started are very clear ideas and very clear memories that people have of just absolute bombshells, but why is this starting to become the norm? That, to me, is where things start to get just a bit too far. And honestly, I'm really glad that Day Before died, and I really hope, if you did pre-order this game, I hope you're able to get some sort of a refund, because apparently it was even a little bit difficult to get refunds at first, which absolutely sucks. But you know, I don't know if I expected much else from this entire launch. But you see, I think where my anger really sets in with this company is this tweet they uploaded on December 11th, the same day they uploaded their shitty "we're sorry" tweet, was this right here. In response to a tweet from Fantastic talking about people getting refunds, Kuipershot would post on Twitter, "Unbelievable that you guys hyped this game up so much, and this is the end result. You guys are an absolute disgrace to the video game industry." Dude's clearly pissed, rightfully so. Folks were waiting on this game for years, and they made some huge promises. Not the media, not some random YouTuber. They made these claims on how good this mess was supposed to turn out, but Fantastic would respond with arguably the worst response I've ever seen posted from a company yet. Quote, "This was our first big experience. Shit happens." Like, what? No, this is not a shit hat. You didn't accidentally spill some milk over. You know, you didn't accidentally forget to lock the door. You released a game that was so terrible it made your entire company shut down literally the day after it came out. That is some of the worst planning I've ever seen. Not only that, but you completely lied about what this game was supposed to be. This was not a MMO. This was a extraction shooter. Completely different genre. This ain't a CD Projekt Red where you at least tried to save face either. The moment you realize you uploaded a failure, you ran. That is some of the saddest craftsmanship, some of the saddest work I've ever seen. Because, you know, if this company said, "You know what, we fucked up, we're sorry, we have no idea what's gonna happen, give us some time, we're gonna put time, money, and energy back into the game," I could almost forgive this. I could forgive this entire situation, but that's not what happened. They grabbed the money, they shut down the company, and they booked it. And there's no way they didn't make something out of this. They tried to pull this bullshit out. We didn't make any money from the game whatsoever, but they have to pay back their investors. So either they made no money or they made some, which it's not lining up. I think what happened is they realized they had a perfect opportunity to scam some customers. They took their money and they bolted. But you know, all this aside, I think I learned a very good lesson, especially from a game like The Day Before. And I think that it's from now on, I think I'm going to wait a few days just to see how the news kind of settles whenever a new game comes out. Because this is the first time, I think in a long time, I've seen a ship crash and burn this fast. But you know, all that aside, I hope you liked this little blurb news video. If you did, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And hey, I will see you all in the next video. Look at that! I actually uploaded a video less than like 15 days from each other. We're going places. But besides that, see you all next week, hopefully. Bye, everybody.